Hello, beautiful collective. This is Satya back with another message. Thank you for being with me today, tonight, whenever you watch this message. I wanted to come on and do a solar eclipse in Aries message, and I'll be coming back and doing a new moon in Aries message. And I'll also be putting up a message about the Fool, and I don't know if you guys can see that. There it is. I'll be doing a message about the Fool in Tarot and how it relates to this new moon solar eclipse in Aries. And I'll also be making a message about the transition of our moon out of Aries into Taurus. By the way, I have been saying the new moon is in Taurus, and it's not. It's in Aries, but I've had Taurus on the brain. I've been putting together that the transition of the moon into Taurus. I've been putting a video about that together, and I've been doing a lot of work personally for me on the retrograde in Taurus, because Mercury retrograde hits me really hard and I get all flippity floppity. So I've been doing some work with myself, for myself, on Mercury retrograde in Taurus. And so I've just had Taurus on the mind lately. And so you might see in at least one of my videos, I said the new moon is happening in Taurus, and it's not. It's happening in Aries. The solar eclipse is happening in Aries, and because those two things happen along the same plane, they can't be in different signs. So forgive my stumble, forgive my mix-up. Know that these alignments are happening in Aries at the 29th degree. But I will be, between now and the new moon solar eclipse, I'll be coming out with a solar eclipse message, which I'm going to do right now. I'll be coming out with a new moon message, which I'm going to do right after this. I'll be also coming out with a message about Taurus, because it really speaks to some of the messages that are embedded in some of the readings that I've already done but are yet to post. You'll hear in those messages, those readings, a message of needing to go inwards and look at what needs to be changed, what needs to be transformed. There's a particular message, I think it posts tonight at 1 a.m. or tomorrow morning at 1 a.m. and it talks about needing to look at our habits, maybe areas that we've been indulging, overspending, and needing to address that to lay out a proper foundation for future growth. So as you listen to these astrological messages and the message I'm going to put out about the Fool, which is about new beginnings, a sacred journey, divine alignment, you'll see how they really all tie together. And I just feel very excited and very happy about that, because all of those messages are really in alignment with the downloads I'm getting from Spirit, but it also lets me know that I'm on the right track for my own personal development, and I'm sending out a message that is full of integrity and validity for you guys, right? Because I don't just do this for myself, right? I wouldn't have to video whatever it and post it if it was just for me, but I do this for the collective. I do it for you guys as well. So that's why I put so much time and energy into it. That's why I do so much research. That's why I'm putting it out there to really help the collective. This is ascension energy. This is development energy. This is stepping into your divine femininity, masculinity. And that's also why some of these messages are like 50 minutes long. And I know the longer it gets, the more difficult it is to watch, because we don't all have time just to sit on YouTube and watch videos. But as I said before, especially when the message is important, especially when it's really hitting hard, I don't want to rush through it. I don't want to complete the message before it's done. I really want it to be complete and filled with all of the details that it needs to convey, so we all get the information we need to take that step into our sacred journey. So, thanks again for taking the time, listening. I hope that this is helpful. I hope that you are enjoying it. If you have any questions about anything, you can drop down in the comments and ask, or you can email me. My Gmail is in the description box, or the about page, I guess. And, just let me know. So this is a solar eclipse message, and I've already kind of got the cards laid out here. I'll start off with a little description about the sun and, the houses, the planets, and then I'll move into some of the details about the solar eclipse, and then I will cut it, and then I'll come back with a new moon. So, solar eclipse is happening on April 19th, 20th, depending on where you are in the world. It is happening at 29 degrees. So, to start off with, a solar eclipse in mythology, in some cultures, embodies and is represented by a dragon devouring the sun, right? And for ancient peoples and some of our ancestors, right, that was a really scary time, because the sun is life force, energy. It's in the sky every day, right? It's what controls our living patterns. And then to see, before ancient peoples knew what it was, to see what looks like some crazy shadow kind of overtaking the sun, right? They thought it was a monster or a demon eating the sun. And then, of course, they would do particular rituals or sacrifices to appease the monster, appease the demon, appease the dragon, so that it wouldn't eat the sun. And that's how the dragon devouring the sun came to be associated with the solar eclipse. So if you're interested in that, you can definitely do some research on the internet. You'll be able to find tons of good stuff about that. But that is the energy of the solar eclipse, a devouring of the sun. The sun itself is a luminary body, which means it is a provider and source of light. It illuminates our skies. It provides illumination, a source of heat, a source of light to us. It is, the main character in how we live our life and our patterns, right? The sun shines down on us. It warms our sphere of life. It helps our crops grow, right? Without the sun, we wouldn't be able to inhabit this planet. It is the source of life. It's also representative of the ego, consciousness. It is who, it's your life energy. It is your central spirit. It is at the core of who we are. In astrology, as far as like our sun sign goes, it represents how you express that vital energy. So for example, my sun sign is Gemini. And so that energy of Mercury, that talkative energy, that intellectual energy, that thinking, that mental agility, mental activity, that is expressed through the sun. And so how does that show up in my life? I'm very talkative. I like to explore new concepts and ideas. I like to read. I like to research. So I am a very in my head type of person. And so if you want to explore more what the sun means, to you, take a look at your sun sign, do a little research. Boys, quiet. That's them wrestling. You'll be able to sort of do some research into your sun sign, and it will expose to you, illuminate how you express that energy, because the sun is giving you that power. The solar eclipse is happening in the sign of Aries, and we know that Aries is the ram. It is signified by the ram here, a very strong, powerful, bold, courageous animal. It is the ram who rescued Phrixus in mythology. Phrixus was the son of King Athamas, and the ram rescued him from certain death by flying him to safety. The ram is a hero. The ram is courageous. The ram is bold. Aries is also, right, the god of war, the god of courage. Aries is the son of Zeus and Hera. He has his place on Mount Olympus. Aries is a symbol of valor. He's the consort of Aphrodite. He is that brutal, headstrong, willful energy, very raw, direct, at times very aggressive, bloodthirsty. But that energy of Aries is represented through the sun, right? You get a sunburn. Too much sun is actually negative. It will kill the crops. It will kill your plants and your trees. We cannot live with not enough sun. We also cannot live with too much sun. And so in this sign of Aries, right, the counterbalance is not being too raw, not being too direct, not being too forceful, having a level of, I hate to say inhibition, but there is definitely a delicate balance between being too out there and having to, draw back into ourselves. Aries is also the sign of winter ending and spring beginning in the northern hemisphere. So in that aspect, it is also a new beginning energy. An energy not only of destruction, but also creation. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. And so also there, it symbolizes a fresh start, a new beginning, being able to start anew. It's again, as the first sign of the zodiac, it marks the end of that journey across all 12 signs and a new cycle. And like I mentioned in the readings that I've done before, you'll see that pattern show up often. Cycles closing out, cycles beginning, a need to turn inward and reevaluate because something new is coming. And it's also represented, it's a representative, of our first house, which is the arrival. It is how we show up in the world, right? We come head first out of our mother's womb. The first house is representative of you, the self, right? The body. It is who you are, who you come off as. It is the ego. It is identity. It is our focus. It is also representative, the first house is also representative of your journey in life, your sacred and personal journey. It's consciousness, it's perspective. And that lines up really well with the Fool. The Fool is taking his first step onto a brand new journey. You can see that he is represented by 0 in the tarot because it is a complete and fresh start. He is symbolic of all of the signs, all of the chakras, because this is a divine alignment. The Fool has a divine purpose. The step he takes is neither right or wrong because he's divinely aligned, and starting on that journey, he will be, right? So if you start with your left foot or your right foot, it doesn't really matter because you're starting on that journey, and all rivers lead to the ocean, right? So the Fool will get to where he needs to go. It might take him a little bit longer if he's really in tune and follows the directions. Might take him, might take him a little bit shorter time if he's aligned. Might take him a little bit longer if he's not listening. But the idea is that the Fool is on a sacred journey, and the first house represents you and your journey. Also, the Sun is represented by Mars, right? Mars, Aries, the first house, that's all Mars energy. And here you can see depicted a really pertinent image, that red planet, those strong arms coming out of it, grasping a sword. This is power, this is motion, this is force, this is passion. Mars is a masculine energy. There's Mars / Aries there in the picture. A bold, powerful, driven, masculine energy, warlike, unafraid, knowing the path, and with sword in hand, taking on any obstacle that might stand in your way. This is Mars. Mars is an energy of now. And of course, the Sun, Aries, Mars is represented by fire. Fire is both a destructive energy and a creative energy. We, in the earliest peoples, right, you found fire and changed the course of evolution. Cooking started with fire, right? Being able to bake bricks to make a sturdy shelter started with fire, started with the energy of the sun, heat, warmth. The first individuals to make their way out of Africa into the more northern regions had to be able to have mastered the art of making and sustaining fire in order to live through the winter, right? And so this is really an energy of creation, destruction, desire, drive, power, moving forward. It's an energy of conversion, of transformation, an unrestrained energy that is going forward, period, right? You can go forward with this energy, or you can be run over by this energy. But Mars, Aries, the sun, fire, this solar eclipse energy is going to coax out dark things. It's going to coax secret things out. It's going to release power. The sun has been collecting and pushing out energy. And on this solar eclipse, it is calling to us to transform, to let go of old things, to call in new things, and in the spirit of revolution, to change and embrace a new journey. So that's just a little background about all of the aspects of the solar eclipse. The sun, Aries, first house, Mars. If you're interested in kind of researching this and taking a look into it for yourself, there's tons of, the internet has everything that you'll need. So I encourage you to do your own research, take a look, and let me know what you think. So moving on to the solar eclipse itself, again, it's happening at Aries and 29 degrees. This solar eclipse from this standpoint will be a hybrid eclipse, which means it's going to look like a total eclipse in some parts of the world, or it'll look like an annular eclipse in other parts of the world. It really just depends on what latitude and longitude you are at. I don't think this is going to be very visible from my part of the country or very much from North America at all. But we will have another one coming up soon in which we would be able to see. But it is a hybrid eclipse occurring at Aries at 29 degrees. And the last one we had was October 25th of 2022. So this solar eclipse energy for the last 5 solar eclipses has been 6 months apart. So this solar eclipse energy has really been pushing us through a 6-month cycle of transformation. There have been a solar eclipse on October 25th, 2022. This one is occurring on April 20th, 2023. The next one will be October 14th, 2023. The one following that will be April 8th, 2024. And then the last one in the 6-month cycle will be October 2nd, 2024. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I said 6. 5 solar eclipses are coming up. Well, 3 are coming up. We've experienced one in the past and one currently. But there are 5 in this cycle and 6 months in between each. The October 25th, 2022 occurred in Scorpio. This current solar eclipse is occurring in Aries. The next one on October 14th will happen in Libra. The one in April 8th, 2024 will happen again in Aries. And then the October 2nd, 2024 will happen in Libra. So if by chance you are an Aries ascendant, a Libra ascendant, this solar eclipse and the next 3 have a potential to be very powerful and meaningful for you. I have Aries and Libra in prominent places in my chart, so I am really trying to do the work and make this work for me. I do not want Aries to run my ass down and over for the next 2 years. So I'm really invested in making this work for me, which is why I encourage you, to really look at these past readings. I'll highlight the names of them, and if I can put a link in this description box below, because whether or not you have Aries or Libra in your chart, the solar eclipse is going to come for you. But if you by chance do have Aries or Libra prominently placed in your chart, this has an opportunity to be really significant for you and show up in a very meaningful way in your life. So know that this 6-month interval is really trying to push into completion. And the next time that we have a solar eclipse that is not a 6-month period is that last one in Libra, and that will happen in October 2nd of 2024. The next solar eclipse after that will occur in Aries, but it will be in March of 2025. So how I interpret that is each 6 months, the solar eclipse, the sun, Aries, Mars, right? It's giving us an opportunity to work towards a goal, a transformation, a change, a sacred journey. It's pushing us along that journey and coming back in 6 months to revitalize and sort of like power us up again, right? Like if you played Mario, all my old heads, what's up, Super Mario? It's the flower power, right? It's that power. And when do they give you a fire? Or not a fire. When do they give you a flower? Right before a period where there's tons of turtles, where there's tons of those mushroom guys, where there's tons of those little Venus flytraps coming out of the tunnel. It is the game, right, is giving you an opportunity to get the flower so that you can easily destroy those enemies, because without it, then you've got to run and jump over them, you've got to step on them. It becomes much more challenging if you don't take advantage of that tool. That's how I interpret these 6-month intervals between these 6 solar eclipses. It is the universe coming in on October of 2022 saying, here is a surge of energy to push you forward in your sacred journey. Do what needs to be done, do the work. It's not over. Your sacred journey is not over. I'll be back in April of 2023 to empower you and embolden you again. And at this solar eclipse, we're getting another flower, right? We are Mario, we are Luigi, we are getting that flower so that we can move forward in this journey until the next solar eclipse in Libra on October of 2023, just a few months away. Then again in April of 2024, and then again in October of 2024. So use this time before the solar energy to reflect, to go inwards, to really meditate on what is this sacred journey that you're embarking on. What is it that you need the energy of Mars, of Aries, of fire, of the sun to charge yourself up for? It is going to be whatever power or whatever the universe is giving us this power for. That purpose, that journey is very important. It's going to require us to power through, to use force, use strength, to be brave, to have courage, to push through difficult times. The universe is calling us to take action. And it's not only calling us and emboldening us, but it's giving us the solar power, the courage of the ram, the force, the strength of Mars and Aries to be able to power through. So, the significance then of a solar eclipse, right, in that spirit of power, collecting what we need to release back into the universe and drive our goals forward, it coincides with the new moon. So a solar eclipse, especially when it's coinciding with the new moon, is an opportunity, like the most opportune time to really put goals into tangible practice, because we have all of this powerful energy to go from the subconscious into the conscious, to go from planning, prepping, thinking into actual motion, right? Into actual motion and action. So this solar eclipse, especially when combined with the new moon, is acting as a catalyst for external or outward facing change. The moon, right, is more of an internal, inward facing sort of intuitive energy, whereas the sun is really outward facing. So whatever it is that you are undertaking as a part of your your sacred journey, it is definitely going to be something that is outward facing. Job, career, personal development, right? You changing who you are, how you show up in the world. This energy is going to be a new beginning that not only you can feel yourself, but that others will be able to see. It's going to impact your larger life, your environment. So, really, again, I encourage you to meditate on this. Take a time to really think about how you're going to be using this energy, because it's going to come back after April 20th 3 more times to continue pushing. And that in itself really expresses how significant this is. And because it's because there's 6 months in between 5 intervals, this could also really be an energy of continuation. So if you maybe had started a project or had an idea, really needed to make a change, back in October of 2022, but you didn't finish that particular goal, you didn't really complete that particular journey, this solar eclipse could very well be your second push to allow you and help you coax out whatever parts of that sacred journey, whatever parts of that goal you weren't able to implement, and give you the energy you need to step forward along what is going to be another 4 turnovers of this cycle. And because this solar eclipse is happening again in Aries, which is symbolized by the ram, this is a combination that is very bold, very high energy. So we will feel very motivated. You might feel kind of antsy, kind of like jittery, because it's the power of the sun really flowing through your body, your soul. And at the 29th degree, which is the last degree of the sign, there is no turning back, right? It's like it's the Fool on the edge of the cliff, and time doesn't go backwards, so he can't turn around and go back. He has to step off that cliff. Now, he may spread his wings and fly, or he may fall down below, but there is no turning back. This is the vice versa deck, vice versa, whatever. And so there's an image on the front, and there's an image on the back, and it's one of my favorite decks. And I'll start to showcase it here, but you can see right in front of him, the sun is setting. The sun is setting behind him. The time is over to turn around and go back home. You need to take that step off into the darkness, where you are going to need power, courage, bravery to go forward in that journey. He has to take that step off the cliff. And that is really what the 29th degree is about. There's no turning back. Everything has already been set into motion. There is no intervention. You can't stop this energy. In fact, as I said before, this has been coming for the past 6 months, and I didn't go back any earlier than October of 2022, so it could have very well been that there was another one, 6 months prior. But the idea is that this is already set into motion. There is no intervention, and so we all have to go with it or be pushed into it. It's kind of like, again, the escalator. If you're on it, you're going up, and if you decide not to go on the escalator to move forward, there's a line of people behind you, and the universe, right? The line of people behind you are waiting for you to step on that escalator. If you don't, they're going to push you on the escalator because everybody has to get on it. Life has to go forward. So there is and not only do we have to go forward, but the universe is giving you what you need in order to get on the escalator and go forward and be successful. So get on the escalator, right? Move, take that chance, be the fool, get on your path. This is a divinely called journey. You have everything you need from the universe, from the sun, from the heavenly bodies, from spirit, from source, from God, from your higher power, to really be successful. But you are going to have to really charge it. And this 29th degree in Aries, this is that the beginning stage, that's that cycle closing. And as this moves into Taurus, right, we'll have an opportunity then, as we take that jump, right? Aries is going to ask us to take that jump and start that trajectory. As it moves into Taurus, we'll have an ability to begin this journey in a slow and steady way, where the power of Aries will slow down a little bit and it won't be so scary. But this is the jump, right? This is the jump. So lastly, what I see here is a triplicate form, right? This is coming in threes. The triplicate form of Aries, very high power, raw, direct, headstrong, combined with Mars, the planet, motion, force, take action now, warlike, brutality, strength, combined with the 29th degree, the last degree, last train to Clarksville, right? This is an unstoppable energy, and this surge is going to be huge. And with this surge of very powerful energy, the universe is telling you to roll with it or to be run over. And so I'm going to sort of stop the video here, and I'm going to do the lunar eclipse, the new moon video. But this solar eclipse and the new moon really act as a pair together, because they basically are, right, two sides of the same coin. The new moon is that dark moon, and it's blocking out the sun. And because the sun is shining, this way, right, it's lighting up the hidden side of the moon, and on this side of the moon it's dark. So the solar eclipse and the new moon act as one type of energy. So definitely stay tuned, check that out, and I don't know, be ready. The solar eclipse is coming April 19th and 20th, depending on where you're located, 29th degree. Check it out. I hope this has been helpful. I hope that you've been able to find some information that is going to guide you in the right direction. We're off on a new journey, guys. Get everything you need ready. It's going to be exciting. I am wishing you peace, love, and blessings. I'll see you again in just a moment for the new moon video. Bye, guys.